Hello and welcome to the next virtual plant tour. We are going today to a tire manufacturing company called Doublecoin. It's a very high-tech company. Let's go. Welcome. I'm Ferdinand and I will be your host for this virtual tour on the tire manufacturer Doublecoin. It's a very high-tech, high-automation company, and in this series of videos, we are taking a tour inside different plants. So the idea is taking the video, which is 360 degrees or which is in VR online on the internet, and we check it out. So who wants to join this visit can come into this room and we go together. And then over Engage platform, we go into this 360-degree video and we discuss about the production environment, how's the work organization, how's the inventory. Maybe we can see some about the shop floor boards, about the working environment, and exchange our ideas about how the work is organized in different locations, different kind of factories around the world. I think will be very interesting to see, and I hope you also can get some ideas for your professional environment, for your experience in your environment. So, without further ado, let's dive in.
A virtual tour of the new Doublecoin commercial tire plant in Rayong Province, Thailand. You'll be amazed at the sophisticated technologies and processes that go into producing today's highly complex tires. And we think you'll reach the same conclusion shared by thousands of trucking fleets and owner-operators, that Doublecoin is at the vanguard of advanced tire manufacturing. Before we enter one of the world's most advanced and intelligent tire manufacturing facilities, let's visit a nearby rubber tree plantation. Remember that at any time during your tour, you can look around to see the action. At the rubber plantation,
So here you see very well, this is also in Thailand. They have this rubber plantation and they just make small cut and daily collect the liquid, which is the rubber, which comes out from this tree. And this is not 100% what goes into the tire, because there's many other different kind of chemical products and other kind of rubber which is mixed inside. But this is one of the fundamental parts of making the tire too.
Workers are collecting natural rubber much the way it has been done for more than 100 years. Every day, workers collect the milky liquid that is accumulated from each tree. It may seem like an antiquated, time-consuming process, but it is still the best way to collect the sap, scoring each tree with a diagonal line and letting the sap collect in small bowls. Now let's step inside the Doublecoin facility. The first step is the mixing of raw materials to form the rubber compound. Computer systems, which control
So here you see all the materials gets collected here and it gets shipped into this drum where the different materials are mixed, and you get really this mixture which you will use then to produce your tire, to produce your products. This is all computer steered and it gets all automatically mixed into this.
Every step of the process contain recipes of natural and synthetic rubber, carbon black, sulfur, and other chemicals and oils. Once a batch of rubber...
So here you can see these 200 different components which are in a truck and the bus. So one of them is the radial tire, and inside the tire there are many different components, of course. Now, if we look at the lean manufacturing topics or the lean production in this area, so we see here there's something was spilled here. Maybe it's not only water, we don't know. But what I found very good in this factory is that you have these andon lights on each of these conveyor belts where the material is mixed, and you can very visually identify which one is running. So the last one there is running. This one might have some trouble, some failure. And for the 5S and the organization of this working environment, I think it is in general very clean factory. You have very modern and high-tech equipment which works a lot by themselves. So very few employees in this area. But even though if you see the material disposal here, or if this is the trash which need to put out, the material receiving, so there's still some room for improvement on the visualization. So is there a lot of material here still waiting there? Should it be like this? How's the way it should be delivered to the area? Is this the right container for you to have the very easy handling? Yes or no? So I think there, on first glance, it looks a little bit that you still also could have some ways to improve still. So let's
Rubber has
move
been
on.
mixed. It goes through powerful rolling mills that squeeze the batch into thick sheets. These sheets are then used to make the specific parts of the tire. Computer-controlled forklifts collect the pallets and place them in storage racks for later use. Take a look around. You see highly complex working at work.
So yeah, this is really interesting to see, because you see this big facility and there's barely 1 or 2 employees who are really taking care of the process. This process of generating and pressing and creating this rubber raw material is all in the machine automatically. And in fact, there's the multi-machine operation and all these pellets. You see one there, and you have even one on this side here. And they drive here without this magnetic line. It's only by recognizing the environment they are able to navigate through the facility. So this is a quite high automation of this. So, and you have the different cells, as we can see here. I guess you have one production cell here, one production cell 2, 3. So you are able to eliminate, drive into here, you drive into here, get material, drive into there, according to the time when the material gets ready to be picked up. So it's a very flexible system where you have these machines working in parallel there. So this was something I think is very interesting. It's also very impressive, this high shelf which goes right until the roof there. You see on the very top, and there's the raw material and the products of the different types of rubbers are also stored there. This is yeah, also very impressive, I found.
Working in an
Move on.
ultra-clean environment. What you don't see are many human workers. With robotics and highly advanced automation, this Doublecoin plant can operate at full capacity with only 500 people. That's producing approximately 4,100 truck and bus radials and 136 off-the-road radials each day. To put this into perspective, a plant producing this number of units just a few years back would have employed 2,500 people. This means
would have 2,500 now. We are in Thailand, and the workforce also has reduced very drastically. And here we see the employees in some areas. There's still some handling. So the material that comes in on this area here, you see some raw material being taken out of this conveyor belt, being accumulated here. You have the material here on this pallet, and here the identification at least is already a little bit better, even though you have some material there which don't have identification. You have some material here which don't have identification. And from the status of the machine or from the identification of the areas, also the visual management, I think, is still, could be also improved for someone who doesn't know the process so well and has not been in this factory before. It's quite difficult to understand how the process flow, how the material flow really works. And that's something, as more as you can make it visible. For instance, you have some fixture here to place some roll, I guess, also not demarked. You have a trash or some material which is in this big plastic bag. So as more as you can make it transparent, as more you are able to see the deviations. You can see if something is going wrong, and as more as you are become able also to do the problem solving. So, but overall, I'm quite impressed so far. So it's really
Consistent,
interesting,
high-quality
very
tires for
clean.
Doublecoin customers. These highly sophisticated machines operate to extremely exacting standards that would have been unimaginable just a few years ago. Here is where the actual tire-making process begins. The pallets of folded rubber sheets are fed into this machine, where they are heated, pressed, and trimmed.
So this raw material here, which is pre-processed, gets up there. This was what we saw at the end just now, and is where all this rubber gets really processed. It gets feeded here inside, and then it starts to get into the machine, which puts it into shapes, I guess. But if we see the quantity of material, so on this side, on their side, in front of the machine, there was really well identified where to store what and the quantities. But on this area here, there's a lot of material here, and don't know, is there a FIFO? Is there a rule on how to sort the things? Is this all the same kind of material? Is there different kinds of material there? So this is a little bit difficult to identify. And I think there's still a lot of transportation, movement, waiting, searching in this
Trimmed by width and
environment.
length. These pieces will become the tread rubber of the tire. The tread packages are stored on racks, then transported by automated forklift to be stored and await the next part of the process. Here, we see the assembly of profiled rubber bands into sturdy steel-reinforced bead rings, used for holding the tire firmly on the rim. This machine is taking diagonally cut strips of rubber and seaming them together into one continuous length.
So let's check here. Here you have the rest piece or something which was cut, or the trash, and they are welding the pieces together so that the stripes get into one infinite piece. Here, cleaning island, we have on the top the material, the helmets. You have here a lot of instruction or some rules. You have some water standing on the bottom. Maybe you could have a holder or something. You don't have andon light in this area as far as I can tell, which also would be interesting. This seems to be a very critical machine because it's the entrance of the material into the final machine, which will give the shape of the tire. And if this welding of these stripes is not well done, I think there might be severe problems, and or if it's delayed. So, and here we see all the line from where the material all comes. It goes really to flow of line of process, and that's already a very lean idea where you have all really on one line different process steps being produced, and you have this continuous flow of the material. Yeah, but again, you have this unidentified bag where you probably collect all the trash things which you don't need, and you have all these rags of these materials, which probably is also maneuvered by these AGVs which drive around, I can suppose.
Length.
Okay,
with this state-of-the-art automation, the factory processes 10 tons of rubber every hour. Now it's time to assemble the inner tire, referred to as a green tire. The various components are transported by conveyor to the assembly drum. First, sidewalls are laid out on the drum, followed by the main tread rubber, support pieces such as steel belts and piles of fabric.
Okay, so he got just these parts here. So they are, the material comes in from this side, you can see, and he needs to lift it up and walk here over these steps and place it into the machine. So from the horizontal to the vertical position, and it's for each tire he has to walk this way. So then we have here some fixtures also which you could use to something. So maybe there's also some still improvement could be done there. And the andon light, I'm pretty sure there must be an andon light on this area, because this is a very, very critical, very central piece of equipment for the whole factory, the whole process. I just cannot see it now. And there's this tool here. Here you have again the water on the corner, and you have some bags and something. So this could be improved, but well, I spent more than 5 years working in China in a factory, from very big machinery factory, and we catch ourselves working on the floor a lot and storing and putting these things on the floor. Even the toys, the tools, not the toys, but the tools are many times stored directly on the floor where the guys like to work. It's really a habit. I would not even say it's something because it's missing, but of some place to put it, but it's a habit in many times. And this is really a challenge to step by step think of how to improve even the small things. But in general, you cannot see big mass, you cannot see that big material, that confusing environment. This seems to be a very clean, very very easy to overview to see what has to be done, where's the material, what has to be done. So this is a very positive working environment.
Another layer of rubber. The tire building machine seams it all together. It heats and rotates the green tire to ensure proper.
Now that's the brush which goes there. He has some of the glue or some product which he applies there, and that's why this thing is there. But that would be also put it a little bit higher on tool carts, and this material which is very frequently used, is it possible to put it also in a little bit better position for the employee? Question mark, question mark. And then this machine makes its magic.
Air bladders inflate to shape the tire. Rollers move in to ensure the sidewalls have the proper shape. With that complete, a worker removes it and the green tire is transported to the next part of the process. The green tire is placed in a blue storage tray where it is sent to a large refrigerated holding area. The uncured tire will remain in this cooled unit until it is sent via automated carts to the final curing process. Again, all controlled by computers. The green tire is inserted into the curing press as a cartridge. In the curing press, great heat and pressure up to the green.
Let's check here for the curing press. This is all automated, right? So there's no one need to do anything. The tire comes here, gets picked up, gets placed here, it is put inside there. So it's beautiful process. And I think the main thing which is in this area is the setup of the press, even if it's automatic or if there are ways to do it, and all the TPM on the machine. So if you have some area where something is leaking, but this looks quite brand new for that size of machine, it looks really good. Now, we cannot have access to the instruction, to the maintenance, autonomous maintenance instructions, or the points where something needs to be adjusted or visualized. This we don't have, but in general, I think this looks very new.
Tire to form the tire's final shape and tread pattern. The fully formed tire is sent on to be inspected for uniformity, balance, symmetry, and overall quality.
Yeah, here we have again the manual working place. So two persons with good light, they make manual check here and see if everything is okay. Probably they have also several measurements which they do. But again, there's not many tools or many equipment needed to perform this because it's automatically transported the tire until this point, and he performed his check with everything he has in this checking booth. Yeah, so there we can see a little bit some of the instructions, and probably there's some sensor even here, unknown cord, if I look right, and a button, not sure. But yeah,
everyone knows that tires are round, right? But did you know that some tires are rounder than others? Even the smallest variation in roundness can lead to reduced tread wear and vibration. Yeah. Thanks to the highly advanced machines and stringent manufacturing processes you've witnessed on this tour. Doublecoin tires are very, very round. Once a tire has been...
And here you see again, this is the final place storage. You have this overhead crane, which is really like 3D CNC machine where you can put a arm, a robotic arm, and you can place it wherever you want. And that's a high-tech piece of equipment. I think it's so well constructed, and you really have the flexibility on your IT system to choose where to store, which one is the next one, which different kind of tires you have here, what control your inventory. And even it would be impossible if this factory already works like this, we cannot know. But the ideal, of course, would be to steer the factory based on what is here and based on what is on the stock, based on what is on the books of the orders. And then you just starting to implement really the pool. Once you see something has been taken out, the signal comes and you start producing again. If this is possible, that would be a really beautiful way of controlling your factory, of steering your value stream.
Every single tire for ultimate service to our customers. The completed tires are organized and stacked in the factory's completely automated warehouse, where they await transport to Doublecoin dealers.
And this is the view from outside. It's really beautiful country, beautiful factory in the middle of the forest here. And you see even, I think there's expansion already going on, or neighbor factories also willing to expand. And here we have this beautiful landscape.
The world's most advanced tire manufacturing facilities. For more information about Doublecoin tires, please visit www.doublecointires.com.
Okay, here we are back. Let's go back to the meeting and make a sum up. So here we are back to the meeting room. Oh, I'm tired. It was a long way. We walked a lot. If you want to drink a water, coffee, I think you got some idea about this company, about Doublecoin, how they manufacture tire. And for me, it was very impressive to see all this automation. You have this automatic material transport from the raw material to the finished goods. You have the automatic storage. You have all this process in the machines, which works quite automatic. And it's so clean environment. Even if you think about the tire, all the dust and all the chemical products and all the rubber which goes there, you would expect otherwise from a tire manufacturing. But this company really is very clean and very organized and very lean in this way. So I really was surprised on seeing this factory organized like this. I hope you also got some good ideas about what is possible, how they do their process. Unfortunately, we will not have a discussion here now because the attendance group is a little bit low. But on our next tour, if you want to join this tour, you can join in 3D with a 3D glass, or you can join in 3D directly on your PC. And then we could have this interaction on what's your idea, how did you found, or questions or considerations. And this will make it even more interesting to have this discussion during our tour, and even after the tour, that we have the chance to talk a little bit about this, what we have seen in the factory. I think even if you get one idea or two ideas which is valuable for you, then I think this is already a big success, this kind of visit, this kind of factory tour. Okay, so that's all for this factory tour. I hope you join me on my next one. I will be linking all the dates when the next factory tour happens on my blog on litalk.org, and you are very, very welcome to join it live online or to see the video afterwards of what has happened. There are very different companies coming up, from high-tech companies like this one, or from the electrics manufacturing or electronics manufacturing, also to the very manual companies in some very rural areas on how they do the handwork, really, the handcraft of some goods which we find all over Europe and the Western countries in the United States and all America, and how this different kind of products they are produced, even if it's very manual work. So then, thanks for joining and stay safe, and I see you next time.